having a deeper connection with your higher self. Because right now at the moment, you're not you. You are your higher self. And if you're not your higher self, you're not yourself. And partial of that thing, it's something that's holding you down, something that's holding you back, something that's basically not making an intriguing potential wise for you to be spiritually open to yourself. And this is the ego, right? Portions of ego have left a burden into every single person here living in the world, saddened, worried, stressed, unhappy, mad, falsely imaged, falsely thinking, falsely perspective, falsely soul wise, and falsely emotion. The ego is the killer of your own purpose. Because you are not your ego. You are not the way you feel about your ego. You are not the perspective that you have inside your ego. You are not the false image that the ego and tries to provide for you. The ego is false. And the ego is separating you from connecting from the inside, rather connecting with the outside. But if you put all your thoughts, all your connection now to inside of you, that's your higher self, right? So to start off with this, what's your thoughts? You need to pay attention to your thoughts. What are you thinking about? How do you feel about certain things? What is your perspective about life, about yourself, about money, about your family, about your environment? What is it? How do you view everybody as like, right? And you have to release your ego. Release your ego when you're actually thinking about your own self, when you're thinking about your own energy, when you're thinking about your own thoughts, because your own thoughts embrace who you are personality wise and emotionally wise, right? So you need to pay attention on who you are. Because if you don't pay attention to who you are, and you're just letting things fly over you, and you just kind of like just reacting in a certain way where you're not really choosing yourself but choosing people from the outside, you're not choosing for yourself, and now you're being yourself, right? So when you're not being yourself, what that leads to is so unnecessary things, unnecessary problems, and unnecessary people that come into your life, right? Because your own thoughts are not yours, it's the ego's. Does that make sense? Because think about it like this: if you start questioning yourself, you just start questioning your life. Why does these problems keep happening to me? Why is this person keep coming back into my life? Why is there so much toxic people into my life? Why is there a lot of negative people? Why haven't I attracted anything of my successes? Because you're thinking of your own ego. You're not thinking of your own thoughts, right? So one thing that can really help you improvise on your own self is just meditate. Simply just meditate. Just sit and just focus. Focus on the thoughts that you're running through naturally. And those thoughts naturally that keep improvising on yourself, those part of your ego thoughts. And those are the thoughts that are holding you back. Those are the thoughts that are not helping you in any sort of way. Right? Because remember this, you are not your ego. Your thoughts are not yours. They're the ego. But if you learn how to control them, and if you learn how to guide them in a way where it could be in a higher state, meaning like positive, much more enjoyment, much more embrace, much more happy, much more open, those are the thoughts that you want to focus on your own brain, right? And a lot of people will say, well, why does this matter? Like, why can't I just live? Why can't I just do my own things? Why can't I just do things? No, don't get me wrong. You're still doing whatever you want to do. But are you making the right decisions? Are you hanging out with the right people? Are your thoughts properly how they should be? Are you thinking straight? Or are you just thinking emotionally wise, right? So, founder of those keys is that come from a lot of things. They come from a lot of things, right? It comes from your childhood. It comes from your past self. It comes from things that you learn out, think comes from your environment, comes from a lot of things, and also comes about, you know, gratitude, right? If you're not happy with your situation, if you're not happy with things going on in your environment, it is because portion of it is that you're not being grateful with the things you have around yourself, right? You're not grateful about your roof. You're not grateful about your house. You're not grateful about your room. You're not grateful about this camera. You're not grateful about this light. You're not grateful about this oxygen. Like, you're not grateful about these chains, this hair, my eyes. Like, what are you truly grateful for? I'm grateful for everything. I just mentioned a lot of things naturally. But what are you truly grateful for? What are the things that are going to make you happy right now? It doesn't matter about the future. It doesn't matter about the past. It matters right now, right? And I feel like a lot of people, you know, they would tend to get lost in certain things, but it's really simple. It's really simple. You just, instead of you just putting all your focus into social media, most of the things come from social media also, because you're getting influenced by a lot of people who don't even align with the things that you want to do, right? You're over here trying to become a soccer player, but then you watching a person that's, you know, let's say for example, is selling drugs or so. Like, you know, it doesn't align. It doesn't align with anything, right? So, I mean, I would recommend you to either just find a mentor, you know, or just email me or just contact me so I can help you with this guide. But man, what is it truly that it's holding you back? What is truly a thing that is not making you, you know, go over the surface, right? Is it because you're comfortable? Is it because you're relying on other people? Or is it because you simply don't care, right? You simply don't care about life. You simply just want to do whatever you want to do. And it's typically fine, you know. I'm not here to adjust anything new. But let me tell you this, man. Just remember that all of us, we're all going to die, right? We're all going to die at the end of the day. This doesn't matter. At the end of the day, this is going to move on. I'm going to move on into other things in the future. But you know what matters? You living the best life you can be. Or you can do. Or you can create. Or you can embrace. Right? Or you can adapt to. All these things matter in the present moment. I'm not talking about watching this video in the past. I'm not talking about me making this video for y'all in the future. Because I know you're going to watch this regardless. But what I'm saying is that living in the present moment will always be the best thing for you to change. And just be aware of certain things that your mindset is capable of and what you're capable of, right? So this will remind you of who you are truly. Focusing on the things in it right now. Okay, you know what? Right now I have the option to go for a run. Let me go run. I'm gonna just try it. Oh my gosh, man! I just finished 2 miles. That was amazing. I'm gonna go run for another day. Actually, let me try this new food place. You know, let me try eating healthy. Oh my gosh, man! I feel so better. I feel more and more better than when I eat in fast food. You know what? Let me start reading books. I've been hearing that a lot of people be doing that. Oh my gosh, I'm on page 10. This is actually pretty intriguing. This is something I'm learning from. I'm actually learning from this. You know, when you live in the present moment, you have decisions. You have the power of making decisions, and you have the power to making your free will. And basically, through your dreams, to your desires, you're gonna be making decisions that's gonna keep getting you closer, or you can keep making decisions that's gonna make you lower, right? There's always a good and bad. There's always a cause and effect. But the thing is that you attract on the decisions that you make. You desire on the things that you dream about. So when you do a decision, even if it's something bad, you're gonna attract something bad to you. Because karma exists. There's always good and the bad. But if you're making a decision that is good for you, you're going to attract good for you. Does that make sense? Whatever you give out is what you're going to receive back. And that's simply how it works. Right? So when you're connecting with your higher self, You're making good decisions all the time because your higher self is the best person you can be, right? And you're no longer seeking attention from anybody. You're no longer seeking love from anybody else. You're seeking yourself. And you find yourself within yourself. And when you do, that is the best person you can be. But yeah, man, it's been Fredo Saga. Let's leave the dimension expansion with your new game and let's implement it into the real world. Let's get it.